Ooh, ooh, yeah.
Good morning. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live from What the Buck Tailgate. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. And how do we start off this show? Come on in here, Mr. Paul Stewart.
Bring the passion, bring the excitement, just don't bring any nonsense.
There you go. That's how you do it. Bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense as we get you ready for Bucs versus the New York Football Jets, looking for their first win of the season. Of course, the Bucs coming into this game being 2-0. So you got to like the chances of this Buccaneer team. 2 road victories, 2 consecutive road victories here for the 5th consecutive year. The Bucs start out at 2-0. So lots of injuries, though. Kalijah Cansey out for the year. Cody Mauch out for the year. Luke Gedeke on the IR. So we'll definitely get all into it. And as always, we'll take your phone calls. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So how you doing, my friend? How do you like this setup today on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television live from What the Buck Tailgate?
Do you know, Peter, it's funny because, you and I normally work across the Atlantic. I'm 4,000 miles away in England. Here I am next to you. It seems strange, and it's fantastic to be here.
It is fantastic to be here. I know we got together on Friday night with the media icon, Mr. TJ Reeves of the Buccaneer Radio Network. Good times there in Plant City, if you will. And the main thing for me watching that football game, because we went to the Plant City football game to watch Steinbrenner, which had an opportunity to win that game. But they got pressure on the quarterback, and I think that's what the Jets are looking at. They're also injured coming into this game. But you got to have to deal with the big hoss, as my uncle would say, and Quinnen Williams in the middle at defensive tackle, especially with this banged-up offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's one of the matchups I'm looking at. And then also here with Kalijah Cansey being out, Elijah Roberts stepping up, this pass rush stepping up. No Justin Fields for the New York Jets.
What's interesting, Peter, is all the injuries you just mentioned for the Buccaneers, they are big injuries. Justin Fields to Tyrod Taylor, that's not much of a drop-off. So I would say the Jets are coming in a lot more healthy, a lot more confident than they would have been if you'd asked us at the start of the season. Now, yeah, the Bucs are going to have to put together a patchwork offensive line. We're expecting to see the same left side of the line as we did that finished the game in Houston. Graham Barton at left tackle, Mike Jordan at left guard, and Ben Bredesen playing centre for the 3rd straight game. It's the right side where we're going to see the changes. Now, I was at Bucs practice on Friday. They were lining up Elijah Klein at right guard. 6th-round pick last year. It'll be his first actual playing time on the offensive line outside of blowout mop-ups at the end of last year. Expect to see Heck at right tackle, maybe also Feeney, the guy they signed off San Diego's practice squad. You could look to see him get some playing time today. This is a case, Peter, where the Bucs, they've just got to get through this game. Philadelphia next week, that's a different matter. If you'd asked me at the start of the season, would you take 2-2 at the start of the year? I would have taken it. We've got the 2 wins already. Now we're looking for some gravy on the biscuits, and I want to see the Bucs eat today.
I love gravy on the biscuits in the morning. And you know what else I love? I love talking about Tampa Bay Buccaneer football with you guys. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Bucs fans definitely want to hear from you. What I want to know is, do we have sound effects today?
Oh, yeah!
You can hear it. I can hear it. Can you all out there hear it? Because if you can, it would be appreciated to let me know. Now, we'll get out to the comments. Of course, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube Super Chats are open. We went a little bit early today because, as I was explaining there at live from Up the Block, a barbershop, whether you want a haircut, a fade, a beard trim, it's not, you don't have to go too far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. And of course, also, if you want to catch your away watch parties, as I get to this right here, you go to Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa for all your away watch parties, whether it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whether it's the USF Bulls, who are victorious yesterday over South Carolina State, 63-14. Lots of advertisements there, but I want to know, can they hear the sound effects? Can you hear the sound effects?
I can hear the sound effects.
All right.
If we can hear the guys from England, we can hear everything.
All right. Sorry. So we'll go out to the comments here. Christopher Cole, as we're live, we may get some fans on. We'll definitely work on doing that, as it was a interesting situation. But getting back to it, the reason why I went early in the first place is because we had a media call last night, and at noon, some Bucs legends are coming in to talk to the media. Bruce Arians, Hardy Nickerson, Warwick Dunn, and who's my favorite player?
Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks coming in. So we like to get some of that for you here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. By the way, 660,000 views in the last 90 days on Facebook, over 300,000 in the last 28 days. So this thing continues to grow, evolve, if you will.
So you're getting sort of close to the numbers I get on buckpower.com, because I went over 100 million hits a couple of years ago. It's not bad for a website from England,
not
is it?
bad. Not bad at all. Let's see if this is working here. Hold on. All right, good stuff there. So morning, happy game day, Christopher Cole. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Mike, 2 hours out. Eric, hell yeah. The real mayor of New York, Mr. Anthony Giuliani, who you can guess is a big-time New York Jets fan today. They take the L. Go Jets. No.
I'll tell you what we can also do.
What concerns you about the Jets most? Let's get into that, and then we'll get into some history here, Paul.
I think it's a case that when you're 0-2, you're fighting for your lives, because teams have come back from 0-2 to make the playoffs, even win the Super Bowl. Once you start getting to 0-3, 0-4, then you're already looking at where's next year. Now, there was a lot of hope for the Jets coming into this year, new coaching staff. They were going to turn things around. They didn't have Aaron Rodgers screwing things up for them. They're coming in hungry and they're desperate. And they know they're catching a Bucs team, which maybe isn't on the field or on paper as good as it was at the start of the year. So they've got more of a chance today, and they're going to be hungry right from the first snap.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. They're definitely going to be hungry for a win. You have the new coach there in Aaron Glenn, who played for the Jets, who played in the National Football League, who did great work with the Detroit Lions as a defensive coordinator. Ask the Lions at this point. They're definitely missing him. You know he's going to have this team ready to go, and it all starts with Baker Mayfield, right? Let's talk about this. I want to say young man, but he's a guy that's been in the league, #1 pick in 2017. And he's definitely done some great work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially stats don't pop out at you, but I'll go back to this. The last 2 years, he has more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes. What do you think about Baker Mayfield and the chances of this offense?
Well, here's a question I want to put out to the fans.
Do it.
The Buccaneers have had some great quarterbacks. We had a guy called Brady who played for us for 3 years.
Yes.
The question I want to know, is Baker Mayfield the most inspirational quarterback the Buccaneers have ever had? He might not be the best in terms of numbers, but is he the one that you believe in the most? And belief, it goes back to Doug Williams. Everyone believed in Doug Williams in 79 and 81 and 82. Do you believe in Baker Mayfield more than any other quarterback in Buccaneer history?
That's a great question. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 here live from What the Buck Tailgate. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Happy Sunday morning, along with Mr. Paul Stewart of buckpower.com. What are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield? I know you watched the game. How late, by the way? Because you make this sacrifice all the time when you're overseas there in the UK. How late do you stay up, my friend, to watch Tampa Bay Buccaneer football when they're on prime time?
Well, it's when you said good morning. That's just made me laugh, because to me, the NFL is a Sunday night sport. We're 5 hours ahead of you in the UK.
Right.
So even a 1 o'clock start is a 6 p.m. game for me, which is the evening. A late game is a 9 p.m. start. Monday Night Football, you don't want to know. That game finished round about 3:15.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on my sofa. Peter messages me, hey, do you want to do post-game TV? All he can hear is snoring because I've gone back to bed. It's a sacrifice you make because, as I said, the NFL's become an international game. It doesn't matter where around the world you watch it. You just fit in whatever the time schedule is. So, yeah, I was watching it from midnight till just after 3 a.m. I do it because I'm a Buccaneer fan and I watch my Bucs and I love my Bucs.
Well, there you go. And how long have you been a Bucs fan? I call you the unofficial, official. How we decided on the name at this point?
The Buccaneer historical expert.
Okay, historical expert. How long have you been a historical expert when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul?
So back in 1982, which is a long time ago, because even Joan Jett was number one of the American charts at the time, is I was watching the first shows on British television. They started showing the NFL coverage on British TV. I sat and watched the game. And Tampa Bay beat Miami. And I thought, wow, that team in orange must be pretty good. Yeah. I'm going to support them. Peter, they then had 14 straight losing seasons. It's all my fault. Doug Williams heard about this and he said, I'm no longer taking the blame. It's all your fault, Paul.
Well, there you go.
But once you've got your team, they're your team. I started a UK fan club in 1984, came over for my first game in 88. I was writing a magazine about the Buccaneers for nearly 20 years. And then in 2002, I launched buckpower.com, and that now goes around the world. And I've got friends all around the world who contact me. So many I've found here today at What the Buck. So many who contact me from seeing me on SportsSweat.
Absolutely. There you go. That's what it's all about, guys. Here's my question for the day. You have the Baker Mayfield. Do you have more confidence in him than any other quarterback in Bucs history? What's your confidence level? We threw that out there from 1 to 10, even with all the injuries. Bucs fans, and who do you think today could have a great game? And by the way, trying to take a video call. We can't take any video calls right now, but we can take some other calls. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So confidence level at this point. Who's the player that you think could show out? And it goes back to Baker Mayfield, just doing what he did there. I go back to that play on 4th down. It's 4th and 10. He's banged up at that point. People look at him and they say he's not a great mobile quarterback. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen. But what he is he's going to give you everything he's got. He's gritty. It's not pretty, but he's going to scale. He's going to try to fight and try to get that first down.
He's mobile when he needs to be, Peter.
Correct.
Mobile quarterbacks are ones who take off and run back in the days of Steve Young and Michael Vick. Baker Mayfield doesn't choose to run. He runs when he has to, and there's a big difference. And so mobile when you need to be is the way I describe him, and, hey, we love it.
All right, let's go out to Eric here. He says, go Bucs, so go Bucs.
Oh, yeah!
Let's see, go Bucs.
It's exciting!
It is exciting, Todd.
How about them Bucs, baby?
All right, let's go like that. Is that good? I'm going to be doing that all day long. Every time they say go Bucs, I'm gonna do all that. It's going to be Macho Man.
Oh, yeah! Wait up, little boy! Wait up!
There's Baker.
It's exciting!
And there you go with this.
How about them Bucs, baby?
And then if somebody stinks.
And there's one I had when Baker completed that 4th and 10 scramble, even at my home in the southwest of England, I did my best Ric Flair impression.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think I got some Ric Flair.
Woo!
Now, all I can say is Ric Flair does it a lot better than Paul Stewart does at 3 o'clock in the morning in England.
Well, do it anyway.
Woo!
Oh.
All I know is I'm glad I'm allegedly professional journalist. I'm not doing Ric Flair impressions.
Woo! There you go. We met Ric Flair about a year ago at Ferg's, hanging out with Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy there. Yes, go Bucs. Can I get a Tampa? Tampa! All right, there we go. So, they can't hear me. So, you got Jets fans coming here live at What the Buck. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Paul Stewart of buckpower.com. So, go Bucs today. Great game. So, again, the questions are confidence level. Who do you think could have a great game besides a Baker Mayfield? Is it a Mike Evans? And that matchup in itself is also a key to the game. Can Mike Evans do enough versus a very talented young corner in a Sauce Gardner who is going to try to lock him up? So as talented as Gardner is, do you think Evans has a big game even with Emeka Egbuka injured, more times than not, this offense, as I always say, goes through Mike Evans. It starts with Mike Evans. It ends with Mike Evans. Is that the player today that you think could have a big game for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team?
The two players I think we're going to see are Sterling Shepard, who'll take a bigger role if Egbuka is hurt, and he didn't look good on Friday at practice.
Yeah.
And Cade Otton. He hasn't been a big part of the offense in the first 2 weeks. Now, of course, the Buccaneers are one of the best screen teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
The Jets know that. Every NFL team knows that. So look to see Shepard on slants inside if they try and take away Evans. And then also, if Sauce Gardner is quite an aggressive corner, if he's going to try and take away the slants, look for the double move down the left sideline. How many times have we seen Evans going into the left sideline on a fade pattern from sort of 20, 25 yards out when they've been setting up the slant to set up that touchdown throw?
Let me ask you a difficult question, because you're, in my opinion, the official historian of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And one of these days, I think you have already been honored by the Bucs. But what have the Bucs have done for you? Talk about that a little bit, and then we'll get back to Mike Evans.
Well, I've been very fortunate. I mean, I do what I do because I love it. I enjoy doing it, Buck Power, all the things I do and the people I meet. And I do it because I love what I'm doing. And yes, I've been very fortunate with what the Bucs have done for me. I've helped out hundreds of Buccaneer players with highlights of their careers because I've got.
Name some of those players, by the way. Name drop a little bit.
Richard Woods, Cecil Johnson, Doug Williams, Mike Allstott, Kevin House, Jerry Bell, Bill Capice. Do you want me to keep going?
Keep on going.
It's a whole roster. So I'm friends with all these guys.
Yes.
And it's when I get asked who's my favourite Buccaneer player, I can't say an answer because whoever I say, I'll have 20 guys immediately saying to me, why didn't you name me? I thought we were friends. I've played golf with Steve DeBerg and Kevin House, which was just a legend. But the Buccaneers have been great to me. I'm friends with the Glazer family, with Brian Ford in the front office.
Yeah.
In 2009, the NFL Films made a documentary about me, about the Bucs game in London. And if you go and look at the Bucs 2009 highlight film, it wasn't a great year on the field. First year Raheem Morris, they featured this guy from England. How many people, fans, international fans, get to be on an NFL Films documentary? Sometimes, Peter, I have to pinch myself to believe what has happened.
Well, it's a great story, and you absolutely deserve it because you go to the website. If you're a kid, if you grew up liking the Bucs, if you're trying to find that specific player, what is the motto? Every player,
every game, everything Bucs.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. And hopefully, I believe this is
Victory!
We'll see if we're playing that today at the end of the game because, of course, we'll be live on the field in Raymond James Stadium in collaboration with the J.P. Peterson Show here. Yours truly, Paul Stewart. Again, J.P. Peterson.
And T.J. Reeves as well.
Yes, the media icon. Right? How do we say this with T.J. Reeves?
The legend. I mean, there was very famous 4 musicians from England who were quite popular in the 60s.
Yes.
They will have nothing on Peter, myself, JP, and TJ. Do you know something? We need to become known by our initials. You can be PB, I'll be PS, then we can fit in with the other guys.
Well, I always say, PB, my parents named me the right name because PB means what? Peter Blake.
Personal best.
And also press box.
Hey.
I'm just saying. All right, little sports swag there.
PS means footnote, though, so maybe I shouldn't do that.
PB, right? PS, PB. All right, good stuff there. So, Mike Evans, going back to it. Could he go down? Because I put this out there before. Could Mike Evans go down as the greatest Buccaneer of all time, in your opinion?
Okay, no. And if we were talking about this yesterday with Steve Lemack, who does all the artwork for Buck Power. I don't have Mike Evans on my Mount Rushmore of players. My Mount Rushmore is Leroy, who's the number 1 Buck of all time. It can never, ever change. He's number 1. End of story. I've then got Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, and I've got Rondé Barber. If anything, Mike Evans is battling for the number 4 spot with Rondé.
You love the uniforms, by the way.
I know. Especially who's that guy, Tampa Trev? I'm sure I've heard of him.
We've definitely heard of him. I tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Raina. Raina, welcome to the Evolution on a Sunday morning here live from What the Buck. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the great Paul Stewart.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hey, Peter. Go Bucs.
Yeah, go Bucs.
Go Bucs, Peter.
Go Bucs, guys. Are you guys on your way to the game here?
Yes, sir, we are, and we're going to be flag wavers on the field before the game, so we're excited to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where is the DJ horn? I know you're. If you weren't awake then, now you are awake. Congratulations to you guys. So what's your confidence level? I know you're going to be on the field, but what's your confidence level going in with Bucs versus the Jets home opener? Bucs looking to go 3-0.
99.9.
I love it. So 1 to 10, she just went all the way to almost 100. The 1% there. What's your concern at this point? Is it the injury situation?
Yeah, the O-line, but I think Baker's just gonna get through it like he always does. So.
Well, that's exactly what Baker does. Gets through it, whether it's through an injury, whether it's through a reshuffled offensive line, wide receivers going out, guards going out. Really doesn't matter. Baker Mayfield in that offense, if they have the ball in the fourth quarter, they always got an opportunity to win. Raina, what else?
What else? You're at the your new restaurant you're at now?
We're
right?
not at Tampa Joe's today. Tampa Joe's on the away games. If you want to go to away watch parties, that's where it's at. But right now we are live here. I'm credentialed media representing the JP Peterson Show and of course the evolution of Sports Talk Television, the Sports Web. We're live here from What the Buck Tailgate. Yes,
cool.
As Bucs fans continue to file in here.
Yeah, so where is that at? We might stop by.
Okay. Well, sounds good. You should definitely do that. All right, Raina,
Okay.
appreciate you. All right.
Bucs.
All right, go Bucs. Absolutely. Go Bucs. She said go Bucs. We'll go there. We'll go there with this.
Wait up, little boy. Stop. Wait up.
We'll go with Todd. It is exciting. And how about Byron Leftwood?
How about them Bucs, baby?
All right, so open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Abraham, I know you're trying to call me, but you can't call me on your video, buddy. You got to call me on a regular phone there as it continues to interrupt things. Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll throw a question out to the Bucs fans. We've just had Byron Leftwich on the
Well,
clip.
let me before you go there, because we didn't finish the question on Mike Evans.
sorry, yeah.
Mike Evans. Why? Because I here's the thing. Here's a player, and there was talk of this where this could be his last year, where he he surpasses Jerry Rice. You go into the Hall of Fame. He's won a Super Bowl. He surpasses not only one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, but one of the greatest players in NFL history of all time. So why not, Paul, him being the greatest Buccaneer of all time?
As I say, he's the greatest offensive player of all time.
Okay.
I would have him. I mean, James Wilder was legendary. Mike Evans has gone past James. I've got no problem with that. But as I said, I just can't get past Leroy's number one. You just cannot. That's enshrined in stone. First ever Buccaneer, first ever Hall of Famer, greatest person you could ever meet, and I considered him a friend before he passed away. But as I said, I think it's Sapp and Brooks are 2 and 3. And I know you'd have Brooks ahead of Warren. I've got no problem with that.
Right.
It's Mike Evans competing against Rondé for the 4th spot. And then you've got the likes of the John Lynches, the Mike Allsotts, the Paul Grubers behind him.
All right, Ian from Mississippi Buccaneer fans,
Yeah.
California Bucs fans, North Carolina Bucs fans. But Ian, welcome to the Evolution. You're live here at What the Buck Tailgate. What's on your mind today, my friend?
Peter Blake, I just wanted to say that I love seeing all the orange behind you. Man, the nostalgia I get. I'm so happy waking up. I get the game noon here in Central Time, so I am excited. Also wanted to touch on what you guys were just talking about. Derek Brooks is the best Buccaneer of all time. Derek Brooks.
Who's my favorite player, Mr. Derek Brooks, and hopefully we get a chance to go and interview him at noon here. As that's why we're going to cut this broadcast a little bit short today, while we came a little bit earlier than normal. But you're exactly right. I think a lot of people, the Bucs themselves say Derek Brooks is the greatest player of all time. Let me go out to you, Paul. Historical 2002 Defensive Player of the Year, leader of that defense, one of the greatest defenses of all time, not only that year, in my opinion, but you can put it right up there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you win more Super Bowls, what's the difference? The longevity of that Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, the Hall of Famers led by Derek Brooks. So what are your thoughts on Brooks being the greatest Buccaneer of all time.
I totally get Ian. I totally get where you're coming from. I just think it's a case that Leroy was so enshrined first.
Yeah.
You know, he's put that groove in the road and you can't get away from it. Now, in about an hour's time, Peter and I can read interviewing Derek Brooks. We'll pass on the message to him that you think he's number one. He'll probably have to come down to Mississippi and buy you a beer.
You gotta love that. Eminem playing in the background. Lose yourself. I did lose myself this morning. I lost the fact that, oh, look at that. Scott Bradford in the background there. Bucs Life. We're going to go ahead and go out to him in just a little bit, talk about his Hall of Fame induction as a fan, which is amazing in itself. Ian, so what else is on your mind today, my friend?
Rondé Barber's great. Just the offensive line. Worried about the offensive line. I think Savase Dennis will gradually get better as the year goes on. So I want to watch him today too. Yeah. The offensive line, though, mainly is just see what we do. You got to expect a heavy dose of run. We talked about it Wednesday night, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's what has to happen, really. You know.
Yeah, well, that's the question mark. Can this reshuffled offensive line with Graham Barton most likely playing left tackle? You're not sure who's going to play left guard because Michael Jordan may be out of this game. Bretterson at center. It looks like Elijah Klein's going to be at right guard. And again, you look at Charlie Heck at right tackle. And I thought, with that reshuffled offensive line, they did a good job with opening up those holes for Bucky Irving and, of course, Rashad White. That's what you're going to have to do today, I believe, is open up that running game, my friend.
Yeah, I think if you look back at the Monday night game, and I'm sure you were watching it, Ian, although it wasn't quite as late as it was for me, it's if you notice, Houston have got one of the best pass rushes in the NFL, and the Bucs handled them pretty well with all those backups in there. Now, of course, the Jets are a decent defensive line, but they're not the same. And if you also go back to the preseason games, okay, all the backups were in there, but they were finding holes and running the ball. So it's the scheme that's good. The offensive scheme, the blocking, the run plays, the pass plays. So I think we're going to be okay. We're not going to be a complete disaster, but we're going to be okay. But like I say, Ian, it's a case of being concerned, but not panicking.
Well, that's it.
Right.
That's what it is. Yes.
I totally agree with that. And running the ball works better for guys that haven't had all the snaps in pass protection. So pass protection, they're trying to get into position and placement. And you can have a lot of problems with a guy that doesn't have much experience with live snaps doing that. So I think it's better for them to do the run scheme, like the zone schemes, just to get the linemen out there blocking, get them running, get them moving right away. And I think that bodes well for them. But, Peter, I wanted to ask you, what's the status on Emeka? What's going on with Ibuka?
Well, it looks like he's going to play, according to Jeremy Fowler yesterday. Was put out there by an unnamed source. But, Fowler usually has it that Emeka is going to play. Furthermore, he's dealing with hip and groin injuries, but he did practice on Friday. So I think it's definitely a possibility that he's going to play in this game. And the Bucs are going to need him to play in this game, already being down Chris Godwin. And Emeka has definitely been the story there with another touchdown there. I believe leading the league right now with catching touchdowns. So always a great thing to see a rookie do what he's able to do right now in the short amount of time. This kid is so special. I threw it out there, Ian, and Paul, you watch Mike Evans come in, kind of the same type of player, same makeup. A lot of people compared him to Chris Godwin. You could definitely make that comparison. I think he can have the same type of impact that Evans can in his rookie year.
Yeah, I mean, something I can tell you, Ian, is I saw Emeka at practice on Friday. He didn't look that good, but he is going to go today. The one thing the Bucs PR people were telling me is he's a 22-year-old man with a 30-year-old head. He is so mature. They respect him. He's a team captain. Believe me, the Bucs did well drafting him. And, of course, with what happened with the injuries, now it looks like a fantastic move. Yeah. So, although he might not be a star today, he's going to be a star in the future. So, buy your number 2 jerseys down there in Mississippi.
I think you can already make him a star at this point with the way he's shown up in Atlanta, having the 2 touchdowns there, having the touchdown. Great route runner. You just got to keep him healthy. And right now, it's a war of attrition. It really is.
He's very studly. Very studly.
Yep.
I want to put this out into the universe for Bucs Nation. Go Bucs, and let's see K-Dot have a day today. Let's see K-Dot have a day.
It's
putting
about
that
time.
out into the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. K-Dot definitely needs to have a day today, especially with the Mecca. You know that the corners, the back end of the Jets, they're very stingy at this point, even though this defense is giving up 30 points. Ian, anything else, my friend?
That'll do it. Always good talking to you, Peter. I will be in touch with you Monday or Wednesday. Go Bucs.
Well, listen, we'll see you on the post-game edition. Don't go anywhere because we'll take you there, Bucs fans. We'll be live at Raymond James Stadium on the field. Give me 30 to 35 minutes to set up my tools of ignorance, if you will. And we'll be live with the J.P. Peterson show, so you can call in then, my friend. All right?
Ian, I wish you all the very England to Mississippi. All the best, Ian. Thank you for the call.
Yes, absolutely. He said go Bucs, so go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, Todd. Go
How
Bucs.
about them Bucs, baby?
Go Bucs. All right, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for Bucs fans, today, it's your time along with Paul Stewart of BuckPower.com. Every player, every game.
Everything Bucs.
Love it right there. So let's get back to it. Let's talk about this New York Jets team. People would say, again, without Justin Fields, there's an advantage there with Tyrod Taylor, a veteran, and a backup quarterback. We know this all too well, can sometimes give a Todd Bowles defense fits, right? Do we have any worry about that today without Kalijah Kancey?
I'm thinking, as I said, I don't think it's that much of a drop-off from Fields to Tyrod Taylor.
Wow.
The one thing, as I said, it's Ian brought up about Savotia Dennis, and we've seen a couple of times already where he's been caught out of position or taking bad angles on coverage. You know the Jets have seen this on film.
Yeah.
You know there's going to be something in terms of play design. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm worried about, is the Jets going to try and exploit it. Maybe not the first play of the game, but you know it's coming at some point.
Yeah, you know it's coming at some point, and again, it goes back to what we talked about, whether it's high school football, whether it's college football with the USF Bulls. What you got to do is put pressure on the quarterback, put pressure on Tyrod Taylor. Guys got to start winning those one-on-one matchups, and once again, it becomes even more difficult without a Kalijah Kancey. Let's talk about that. Kancey being lost another year kind of reminds you, reminiscent of Gerald McCoy when he first starts out with the Bucs, being number 1 overall pick, not able to stay healthy. Kancey not able to stay healthy. How much of a loss is that for that defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I think so, Peter, because if you were to grade the Bucs defensive line out of 10, even going into the season, you'd probably say 5. 5 out of 10 at best. Kancey was 2 points of that. So they're going to struggle already. Vita Vea is a position holder, stops the run, comes through when he needs to be.
Yeah.
This is why, Todd Bowles' game plan on Monday night was fantastic. Yes, they gave up the opening drive. The Bucs always give up an 80-yard opening drive to start the game. It's just something we accept. It's just, you might as well, in England, go and have a cup of tea and a biscuit and then come back.
Settle in. Right.
Yeah.
Settle in.
But then they got into it. And if you look, okay, they had the fumbled punt, the block punt, short field led to a touchdown. They shut them down the rest of the game because there were some key blitzes. There were some big plays when they had to. And as I said, I thought Todd Bowles did a masterful job on Monday night with the way he had that defensive scheme. You know he's going to have something ready today. So, yes, people jump on social media and criticise Jamel Dean because they love they've got to have a whipping boy somewhere on defence.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's Dean. Believe me, the Bucs secondary, if they get beat, it's because there's no pressure up front. Even the best defensive backs in the world cannot cover NFL receivers for 4 to 5 seconds. You can't do it.
True.
So you need some kind of pass rush, even if it's just, sometimes you see them, it looks like they're not going for the quarterback. They're playing contain because of the screen game, which is big in the NFL. So, yeah, my worry level, I think the Bucs are down to a 3 out of 10 in terms of defensive line ability. So I'm worried, but what can you do about it? Because you're not going to go and find a Simeon Rice. He's here today, but he's not available to be signed. You've got to make do with what you've got and go with a better scheme rather than the players within it.
Offensive line. Because it always starts with the lines, right? We talk about the defensive line. We talk about the offensive line. Can they do it again? Because they reshuffled this offensive line at the beginning of the year. We don't even know who's going to be the starting left guard, who's going to be the starting right guard. We assume, and we all know what happens when you assume. You look like but we're not going to do that. So Elijah Klein possibly. We're going to do it anyway. Elijah Klein at right guard.
Well, that's who, when I got out to practice on Friday, that's who I saw lining up at right guard.
Okay. All right. Let's go out to Tampa. Joe's right there. 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa for all your away watch parties when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the USF Bulls. Get out there. Great food, great vibe, great fun. but some serious food. You like some chicken wings, don't you?
Oh, I certainly do. I mean, then again, if I was going to have a watch party, it's over in England. If you can't get all the way to England for a watch party, go to Tampa Joe's.
There you go. There it is right there. So let's go Buccaneers. He said, let's go Buccaneers. Let's go Buccaneers.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Let's go Buccaneers. Let's go Buccaneers.
How about them Bucs, baby?
You want to push it? You want me to push it? Here it is.
Do it.
All right, everybody wearing the creamsicle today. Morning Bucs win. Let's give Haggard. We talked about him, Haggard and Feeney, who they signed from the practice squad for the New England Patriots. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Luke Haggard looked pretty good in preseason because I went back and watched some of those preseason games because I'm sad like
Look
that.
at
I need
you.
to get a life. So I was looking at the guys who I thought were going to make make the practice squad or make the roster. So I was watching the way Klein played in preseason, watching the way Haggard played. He's no mug. He knows what he's doing. He's not Paul Gruber. Who is? He's not, he's not even Kenyatta Walker. Thankfully, no one else is. But at least he's out there and he knows the Buccaneers scheme.
Right. Julius Peppers called. He's still beating Kenyatta Walker.
Yeah, Julius Peppers when he was Kenyatta Walker's daddy.
Okay. Again, I don't know why I'm getting called online here, but you can't do this, man.
So we can also, if you've got any questions about Buccaneer history, throw them at me. The one I was going to say, we were talking about Byron Leftwich and playing the soundbite. Here's a question for you. Who took over for Byron Leftwich as the Buccaneers quarterback? Who took over from Byron Leftwich as the Buccaneers starting quarterback?
Is that a trick question?
No, it's not a trick question. All I'll tell you, he's still playing in the NFL today.
Well, there you go. There it is right there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. What other sports talk show, not TV, not radio, is out here live with fans walking around? They're looking at me like I'm crazy, like I'm talking to myself. But no, we are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram Live. We are live on Twitter, X, whatever they call it. We are live on LinkedIn Live. How about that?
Do you know what's crazy? They're not.
Yes.
They're looking at you going, there's the professional Rolex reporter. They're looking at me going, who's that British guy who thinks he knows the NFL? I do. I've been commentating on the NFL for British television
what
for
you're
years.
talking about. You deserve to be here, my friend, and I really appreciate you being here. So Haggard and Feeney, that's what we're going to watch out for. Michael Hulk, let's go Bucs. LFG. That was nice, whatever that was. It was nice.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up. It's exciting.
It is exciting, Todd.
How about them Bucs, baby?
There we go. And I got to say, I didn't get a chance to play this, but when there's a crappy call or when somebody tries to troll me like the Jets fans walking by, we're going to give him a Tom Brady.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Exactly. Don't you love the sound effects?
I do. It's
Yeah.
interesting because I hear them just about a split second later in the UK. It's a bit easier when you're working in the business, when you're sitting working with someone next to you.
Yes.
That you can do it, and it's all it's not really ad lib, but you're in the flow of things.
Right.
I say I've done live television across the Atlantic. I've done 7 hours of live TV on Britain, commentating games on 3 a.m. This is still a highlight of my career, being here on this beautiful day here in Florida.
It is.
I'm just glad I became a Bucs fan.
I want to get them to say Tampa Bay, but I don't
Yeah.
know if they can hear me or not.
We'll do it. But hey, if I'd been a Chicago or Pittsburgh fan, I'd be freezing my butt off at a tailgate. I'm glad I'm here in 90-degree weather here at What the Buck Lane, or just off Dale Maybury. Hopefully to see the Bucs go 3-0 for the first time in 20 years.
And by the way, shout out to AT&T on Gun Highway. The Wi-Fi worked like aces. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you. As always, sound works. Thank you. Eric, let's go out to him. Almost there. Right there, taking photo shots. They're almost there. Michael Hulk says, Paul, we have the GOAT. We won a lot of games. Baker has proved himself with the lost players, his own injuries. Right now, he is our guy. He is the ultimate underdog coming to the Bucs team. Let's finish this conversation at the end of the season. So is that fair? I mean, let's go back to that. A lot of people would say, and that's the question out there, Bucs fans. Is he right up there with Tom Brady and Doug Williams and Bucs lore and Bucs history, where you have confidence in Baker Mayfield? Oh, my phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Michael, but we lost Eric. says, let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Let's go Bucs. There we go right there. Let's go out to Mike. I'll be at the game. Thank you very much, Mike. Have to come by the tailgate here. What the Buck Tailgate, the only streaming live television/radio show that is live from a Bucs tailgate. Who would do this? Who would be crazy enough to set up all this equipment and the hot sun with Bucs fans? But you know what I love about this? It's the challenge of it, and it's the fact that I want to take Bucs fans there. You know this all too well. You're over there in England. You're watching something national. It doesn't give you that local feel. You got that local feel here on the Sports Web.
Do you know, it's funny. I mean, going back to the Super Bowl, obviously it was a very strange year with COVID. I was at the first Super Bowl in San Diego. I was there. It was incredible. Greatest sporting memory you could ever have. The one 5 years ago, I sat and watched it on my own and not with anybody. And it's like, yeah, okay, we won the Super Bowl. It didn't feel that special.
Yeah.
But when you're somewhere like this, at a tailgate, and this is why the international games are a problem, because you're losing one of these tailgates. You know, people are having to give them up.
Yeah.
This is part of the whole atmosphere. People are coming here to see their friends. It's family. And it's almost like you do this, then you've got the game, then you celebrate afterwards. This is what being a Buccaneer fan and an NFL is all about, Peter.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. It is all about it. And I love the fact of seeing the creamsicle and white. You being the official historian, we'll just call it what it is, the official historian of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That first year, those first 2 years, but especially that first year with Steve Spurrier at the helm, you don't win a game, but you see these uniforms, you know about the history. You told me something off air. When's the last time the Bucs wore these type of uniforms?
So this uniform with the orange numbers was only ever worn in 1976. So, of course, they went 0-14. The Bucs never wore orange in a regular season game that year. They only wore them in pre-season.
Yeah.
For 1977, they changed to have red numbers to make them more visible in the press box. Now, the Bucs would then wear all white quite a lot of times through the late 80s with Vinny Testaverde, who wore all white. So you would think the last time they wore them was the 91 season and Richie Williams' final game, because they then switched to orange pants.
Yes.
But there were two games in 1994. The NFL had a 75th anniversary throwback, and the Bucs wore their 77 uniforms. In week 3 against New Orleans, they lost 9-7, and in Green Bay, they lost 30-3. Now, what's the crazy stat about that 1994 game is that Kenny Albert was calling the game for Fox. It was his debut, one of his first games he ever did for Fox.
Right.
Kenny Albert is calling the game today for Fox. 31 years later, he's doing it. Now, we were talking to him yesterday about this. It blew his mind that he did that last game. So the last time the Bucs wore all white with a Bucco Bruce helmet was late September 1994.
Wow. How about that? So that goes all the way back to the 1994 season. I remember that. Those god-awful Green Bay uniforms that they had there at that point. Open phone line as we're going to move along with this show here. We'll probably be out by 11. We'll take your phone calls. Headed to the game. We are flag aversion, the field before the game. So thank you very much, Raina, for calling in once again. Abraham says, hey, Peter, from our tailgate, see you after the game. Absolutely. The only tailgate you should have been at is What the Buck tailgate here live on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Let's go Bucs. Let's go Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Let's go Bucs. All right, there you go right there. Let's go out to the Greek himself. Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. When I'm listening to you guys, I want to have tea and crumpets go Bucs, but he spelled it wrong. He said Bucks. It's Bucs, not Bucks, like Milwaukee Bucks.
And one thing you cannot do in America is get a decent cup of tea. You've
Right.
got to come to England for it.
Right. All right. Let's go out to Greg from Costa Rica. Go Bucs
Yeah.
from Costa Rica.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Costa Rica. Costa
How about them
Rica.
Bucks, baby?
Costa Rica. All right. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Greg. Peter, where's your white shirt? It's a whiteout game. I had the creamsicle today.
He's fine.
Yes.
If he does this show well enough, I'll give him a white Buck Power shirt for next time.
Well, there you go. There you go. And by the way, sure shot. Travis, Tampa Trev right there was out. We'll have to have him on. But, hooking me up here, getting me all set up with the Rolex Reporter and the Sports Web and the logo and promoting, and we love that. And the T-shirts are out there. I don't know did he say go Bucs or did he say go Jets?
He said go Jets. We ignore him.
All right, Winston. We had a Winston, Jameis Winston.
He was a number 1 overall pick. We've got a number 1 overall pick now.
Yes.
Let's forget Jameis. Let's talk Baker.
Yeah, let's talk Baker. All right, Tim says Joe Flacco. Bucs go. Let's win. All right. So
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Yes.
I think he's asking the question, who replaced Byron Leftwich? The answer was Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
And he started 4 games that year, and he threw a touchdown pass in Wembley Stadium when the Bucs lost to the Patriots in 2009, and I was there.
There you go, right there. All right, let's go out to Joy. I make Bucs necklaces and bracelets. Very cool. Have to come out here sometime to What the Buck tailgate and go Bucs one more time. Go.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs. He's excited. Go Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Go Bucs. Yes, go ahead.
I'll tell you what else we can talk about, Peter, is back in the expansion season, the Bucs played the New York Jets, and of course they lost the game. Quarterback in the game that day for the Jets, Broadway Joe Namath.
How about that?
Wow. And the comment John McKay had afterwards is when our defense didn't get near him, McKay's comment was along the lines of, our defense played really well. They kept helping him up because they were in awe of him.
That's John McKay right there. Definitely John McKay.
It was. I never got to meet Coach McKay, but I did get a message from his son, Rich McKay, the former Bucs general manager. And he once said to me, if my dad had seen Buck Power, he would have been proud of it. That meant a lot to me.
That's amazing right there. Good for you, man. Good for you. So we'll start giving out predictions here because we're running out of time. I want to get wrapped up. This does take a little bit. Sorry we have to cut it a little bit short, but like I said, when Buck legends come calling, you got to start interviewing. You got to interview Derek Brooks. You got to interview Hardy Nickerson and Bruce Arians there, and who did I forget? We're done.
Well, we're done. So what's going to happen is I have this feeling that when Peter gets to interview Derek Brooks, it's going to be like Wayne in Wayne's World when they meet the guy in Wayne's World. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. If that happens, I'm going to be filming it and I will put it on social media. He will never escape from that.
There you go. And that's not going to happen because I've interviewed Tampa Bay Buccaneers before.
I know.
Brad Johnson and
Brad.
Elijah Cansey, and we had Levante David and Tristan Wirfs. And of course, this team right now will be without Tristan Wirfs. And, of course, Chris Godwin, the guys that you have to worry about with the Jets. We talked about quarterback, running back there, Breece Hall, very talented player there. And then on top of it, Garrett Wilson on the outside. So do you think this Bucs team can make this Jets team one-dimensional? Will you shut down Hall at the running back situation and you force Taylor to beat you in this game?
I think so. And that was always funny when I was on British TV and we had a Buccaneer game on. They would come to me for a prediction and then stop before I could answer because they knew what I was going to say. So I actually today get a chance to make a prediction. The one I'm going to make, and you're going to like this.
Yes.
Bucs 34, Jets 7.
All right. So Bucs 34, Jets 7. I think it's a little bit of a closer game at that point.
Okay, 33-7.
33-7. Okay. I will go Bucs 27-13. 27-13. So I think that's where it's at, even with all the injuries, the assortment of injuries at this point. This Bucs team may struggle early, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish. We're going to finish strong here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Final thoughts here on the Sports Web Live from What the Buck tailgate here on an home opening day here, Bucs versus the Jets.
I just want to say thank you to Buccaneer fans all around the world who've got in touch with me, who I've become friends with. As I say, I love doing Buck Power. I love telling people about the history of the franchise. And as I say, thank you, all the people I've worked with over the years. I know there's even people from England who are tuning in to watch this, who are my friends. I hope you have a great time watching the Bucs later. Peter, it's a pleasure to be your friend and to be on air with you. We're going to do a great post-game show with the legend of the CJ Reeves, the guy called JP Peterson, who I once let beat me on the golf course. Join us on the post-game show. Peter, it's been an honor.
It absolutely been an honor. Thank you very much for coming on the Evolution. Let's go out to Instagram Live here real quick. Pittsburgh 51, you're the best. Thank you very much. Bucs North, Olaf from Costa Rica, Greg there.
Yeah.
Again, Bucs North 633. Let's see if Baker has 3 seconds to throw. We can win. That will be the key today. Again, the offensive line versus the defensive line. Bucs win 27-13 for the great Paul Stewart of BuckPower.com, the official historian of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay Sports Fan, it's your time. As we always say here on this show, we'll see you next time on the post-game edition live on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. Bucs versus the Jets. Enjoy the game, guys, and we'll see you soon on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Cheerio.
Yep, I got it.